show. She came through last night, so. Oh man, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And I'm glad we're in a space where I'm comfortable enough to talk to you about these things. But I wish you understood what it's like to be a man for like a day, like to really deal with our egos and our fragility. Because I was like, why she's all up in the other people's faces? And I'm all like, why am I feeling like this? I'm like, oh shit, I've got feelings.
Oh, look at that.
I was all like, oh, is this jealousy?
Oh.
Is this you visiting me? I was all like, oh my goodness.
How quickly you have to go through all these little, those little checks?
What do
How
you,
fast?
yeah, what do you go through like when you like, if it's somebody you got feelings for and you see them doing shit that, you know what I'm talking about? Like, it's all like, this nigga ain't picking me right now and I really want them to be all, you know, choosing me.
Well, now, I was going to answer that, I was going to answer that I guess with something else in mind, so I'm going to answer it two different ways. One, if it's someone that I'm feeling and jealousy comes up because they're not entertaining or not choosing me, let's say those words, entertaining or choosing me at the moment, every one of those checks that you just said, I'm going to have. I am. Now I will say sometimes I'm better at checking myself and not acting on the jealousy or not saying something. But most times, if something's like right in front of my face and blazing, I gotta say something. I gotta say something. Now I'm probably gonna ask the same questions that I'm asking myself. Then they would just be a little fine tuned because what we talk to ourselves. Somebody the way we talk to the ladies or somebody that you're interested in. So yeah, that's how I work. That's normally kind of that happened to me like a few months ago. And when I saw it, I said it to myself, and I was like, "Now we can talk to myself." So I'm gonna walk up and ask, "What are you doing here?"
What's up? What's
happening?
happening?
What's happening? Because what it reads to me is, y'all thinking it, what's up? And I don't wanna be confused. Just let me know that's what you're doing.
Yeah, I'd be asking too, because I used to tell them like, look. Especially for the space, especially dating women and there's a dude around, I can tell either y'all have fucked, y'all are actively fucking, or somebody who's trying to fuck.
Come on,
and all I ask is just let me know what the deal is so I know how I need to operate and move.
It's hard for people to do that. I'm sorry to understand. That whole little last part you just said right there. Just let me know what's up so I know how to operate, how to move. I don't know what's hard about saying that. I guess because maybe, somebody that you don't want to change how, or they don't want to change how a person feels about you. But I would much rather that you tell me, tell me something. Tell me something so I don't have to come up with beginning, the middle, and the end.
Right.
Because I'm quick to get to the end very fast.
And if I got to do it by myself, it's usually me jumping over to some conclusion. That's why I need that whole, like, I need my homegirls and one of my partners to be like, yo, bro, either one, you're tripping, or two, you're not tripping that much. So
that's what I said. I don't want to come up with the conclusion by myself because I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna come up with the middle, beginning, the middle, and the end.
Where does ghosting stem from?
Oh, what is ghosting?
Fears.
Yeah, and lack of communication.
Yeah.
But I think depending on what situation is, but it's both. Absolutely with Forrest and fear.
I feel like I have, and I think sometimes it's cultural, because I've dated briefly white women. They were just way more open with their words, like, yo, this is work for me, or you're a cool dude, but this is not what it's for me. Whereas like a majority, 99% of black women I've dated, it's been more of just up and goes or not being able to express why, they did.
Women ghost men?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What?
You didn't get the memo?
She just go, what?
And then sometimes, and then a lot of
So you
times.
go so quick.
Is hot girl summer is just going to increase the birth rate. And nothing more.
Wow.
It's not empowering. All this bimbo, reclamation bullshit. Like, it's just like, it's disempowering.
Yeah, because I'll see, like, that's the funny thing too, because that's why I can't respect Kevin Samuels, because he's so hurt and he attacks the women.
He hates women.
Yeah, and
to a hard situation or whatever.
It's wild, and it's like I get it. Y'all want to be free and all that stuff, but trying to play a man's game, like we play by, it's an away game. It's totally different rules. We operate totally different, and they're most likely getting their feelings hurt. So I was like, hey, do what you do, but just know that you're gonna deal with something totally different.
Like people like Kevin Samuels, anybody that's like Kevin Samuels, one to the research. But I feel like there's a way. I'm all for anybody saying whatever you gotta say, like however you want to get your own other shit. But there's always a way to like communicate what you're saying versus spending a lot of time just bashing what you disagree with. So it's a lot of it's easy to disagree with something and have such a strong opinion about it and shut the fuck up.
It's not like what can you not do for me? You know, it's like what can you do? You know what I mean? And like people, when you are communicative, they find that to be like aggressive as opposed to like being assertive and open. You know.
And sometimes people are what if we was like defensive when you simply if I sit there and listen to everything. Let's just use a man for example. We use people like Kevin Samuels. If I sit there and just listen to everything that you say and I repeat it back to you from a therapy standpoint, not because I'm a therapist, because I go to therapy and it's just be some therapy things that you can use, to help you kind of make a conscious decision about what you're saying, kind of process your thoughts. A lot of people like Kevin Samuels will get defensive. And it's simply defensive just because you can have an opinion
What
about
is
something.
offensive? Like,
I guess anytime defensive is more of like saying, you're attacking the person that's like bringing it up instead of I hear you, or like I hear you and we may not agree, or thank you for giving me a different way of thinking about something because I totally and I'm definitely this piece is gonna be so dope because it just reminds me of facing so much with the yellows or whatever. But kind of segue with that and talking about what people do for you. So we'll kind of start at the beginning. If you Wyntress, so you're born and raised in Houston, right?
Yes, sir.
What part?
The south side of Houston, Yellowstone is where my family is from. Where I grew up, but I went to school in Missouri City, so that's all when people ask me where I'm from. I would just say the south side of Houston because that makes up a good portion of 288 to Missouri City.
Okay. And so for the people, the non-custodians, what would you say, why is it so significant that you heard the South Side? Because I've heard the difference between North Side, South Side, you got these wards. So for like an out of towner, kind of explain how Houston is broken up in the culture in each one.
Okay, well Houston, like most places is broken, divided, North Side, South Side, there's the East Side, there's the West Side, but your West Side is mostly probably the South Side, the Southwest Side, or Northwest Side. So we were really only paying attention to the South and the North. Anybody that's going to get to the side that would like to say anything differently, don't shoot me, shoot the messenger, man. No, we don't shoot the messenger, you know what I'm saying? Shoot the city. So,
unusual, please.
So it's South Side, North Side, and then like you said, you have the wards that are really the heart of the city that are divided between the South Side and the North Side. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first, second, third, fourth, fifth ward. That can take you from the South Side to the North Side, or the beginning of the North Side.
What made you comfortable with Houston's transportation? Because I know a very real concern, it's sex trafficking. For me, I've been abducted by mileage drivers. You know what I mean? Taking the bus, you know what I mean? Because of shit like that, when you're vigilant and you just prefer not to transport yourself. I guess I'm not speaking on board for you.
No, what makes you comfortable with the transportation?
Was it self-reliance? Was it just wanting to be independent? What motivated you?
I don't know if it was necessarily motivation out of what you had to do when I didn't have a car or when I was a kid. Metro, what's the car?
Okay.
Or Pat Turner, your left and your right foot. Pat Turner the corners. So I don't know if it would have that was necessarily motivated. And then too, when I was a kid, I had with a lot of boys. So Then too in itself could be, I can see it can be very intimidating and scary as well, because normally it's you amongst a bunch of guys. You know what I'm saying? Any demographic, I mean, any age range, whether it's you as a, 5 to 7, or in your teenage years, or as an adult. So I can say that really motivated me, but I'm gonna just tell you this. My mom told me a story once before when the first day that I had to get on the bus by myself. She was like, hey, get on the bus and you're feeling comfortable, start talking to yourself. She told me a story about when she rode the bus back in the day. She told me exactly what she did. And one day when it was my turn, to have that experience, that's exactly what I did. And so, And that's all I got. I don't know about anything else. I mean, I think, abduction and violence can happen to anybody, no matter what your appearance is like. I don't know what motivated me, but I had to take public transportation because I had to.
It's like spirit, bro.
That was my spirit. So how has Houston changed from, we'll say, even like the last 5 years? Like where has Houston been? Where is it now? Where do you see it going?
Houston is bougie. Okay, I don't know. I tweeted that the other day. Like, I don't know who we think we are or who's Houston at the time. But this is not the city that I grew up in. I left and came back. Went to Phoenix for a while and came back. And when I came back, end of 2014, beginning of 2015. It was. Like I said, that's probably when the change started. But within these last like 3 years, it's become I don't want to say a cultural center. It's always been. You just have to. You've had to know that. You have to be here to know that. Or to be into
more of like a metropolitan city, like
or like fashion. What I appreciate about the city, and I still do, even with all of the attention that it's getting, is that you can always come. Houston has something that you can't find anywhere else. Like I said, even with the entertainment industry coming out here and growing up and becoming a metropolitan city, it's unique in its own right. Everybody used to talk about how slow the school music and how slow it is down here. There's a lot of culture in the city. A lot of things that our movies made here, a lot of artists, a lot of creative people.
And before I forget, why don't I hear more street music? Like I feel like
because it's changing now.
Because I feel like because I was back home in St. Louis. I was talking to my cousin, and because he was the cousin that introduced me to screw music. Because when he said back in the early '90s, he used to come down, and they come back with screw tapes. And so we were just talking, and I'm totally forgot that quick. Don't do drugs, kids. So there we go. I remember now. All right. So we were just talking about with Nelly and how what he did for us, and like how when that summer 2000, when you was riding around with gas like 98 cents a gallon, you heard a different track off that Country Grammar album. And so I always felt like, you had screw music, but the blow for y'all was when you had, Chameleonaire, Paul Wall, Mike Jones, Slim Thug, and that whole like screw music. And of course, when I was in the Army, like the cats from Texas, they would always play like Big Pokey, Big Hawk, everything from down here. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got my Houston culture. So I would think that like when I come down here, all I would hear was the slabs just playing screw music, and that would just be it.
Well, now you gotta think about it. Like now, a lot of the people when you see them in Houston, they're not from Houston. So that's number one.
On the same token, I heard about chopped-in screw music when I was in New Mexico.
Okay.
See, a lot of people when they come out here, they'll call when their introduction to screw music sometimes is slow and reverb. I was just thinking that. And that's not chopped and screwed. Also, people think that chopped and screwed is lo-fi, but you can listen to it anywhere. That ain't. Is it DJ Screw? Is it DJ Screw or Chopaholics?
Yes.
One of the two. It's Swisher House, Chopaholics.
And
So you can't slow down.
Before I forget, and I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if I'm gonna keep it positive on the beat, but a certain person, artist we were talking about, I didn't think they were official. I don't think they're official until they get a chop and screw album. Yeah. Like if you're from here, I feel like just like Don Toliver's Heaven and Hell, got chopped up, not slopped up, and life of a diamond when it gets at, it's gonna be beautiful. But
I feel like I don't know. I don't really because a lot of people got a lot of big clubs already. So I'm gonna say like one of the big artists that are out here, even he paid his homage to Chop and Screw, DJ Screw. You just have to, bro. Like, you just have to. But I can also say that you don't hear that now because a lot of the older people that listen to that, they're not outside doing that. You know, listening to it. They're not doing it. They did it when they were younger. Myself, I would be one of those people. I used to have a slab. I used to have several slabs. Okay, and
shit.
That's what the hell I was doing. I had an Impala, I had a Buick, I had a Crown Vic. But yeah, so like I do listen to. I'm gonna always listen to screw music. But I know everything that I hear slowed down is not considered screw music. Unless it's those two people that made that music, it's not considered screw. It's slow and reverb. I don't care what DJ it is. If you're from Houston and you understand where the coach came from, what it is, it's only two people that do it. Right. Anybody else that do it is I'm not saying that it's not screw music, it's just slow reverb.
Yeah. I'm like, I mean,
you hear the other one, and you're just not like, it's not screw, or it's not Michael Watts.
Yeah, and it's like because it's like, okay, so like chocolate screw music. All of it is that's a beat, but when you're hearing it, it's slowed down. And every other word is like 8 count should be. That's you catching like whatever the last little either beat and or word is.
Okay.
That's chop and screw. Also, you hearing the.
Okay.
Everybody don't do it. Everybody wants to repeat it, and this is the thing that go on over and over again. It's like, okay, I understand that people can it's like everything can be duplicated, but when you're talking about what it is, and if you listen to the beginning of it, and somebody else like,
may I speak on this as a producer?
Well, I'm just saying that you're getting to the science of it.
Not the science. I feel like those are core elements. Like I would say core elements that need to be replicated with like chopping screw music, like you know what I mean? Like, yes, pitch is a factor. The time, you know what I mean? Like shit like how often, like you know what I mean? Like the drum patterns, like shit like that. Like, there are different elements, but I would say the principles of chop and screw music, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll say the principles is that it's fucking lean. Cause I feel like cause I'll listen to it and I'm like, damn, I'm already high. If I were higher, I really would appreciate it. But we'll kind of keep it moving. So
let me show you like this right here. Hold on, it's if I go to something on YouTube right now, they're trying to
Where's one of my songs? Chop and Screw. Because I'm just kind of like, you have SoundCloud? Yeah. I'm like, if it's slower than reverb, tell my ass now and I'll take that shit down until I understand.
Nah, you good?
Everything is different.
You're finding shit that you get to the point where you want to hear, or as an artist, you want to see, and then you're like, all right, that's it. And then anybody else that enjoys it is like, it's a bummer. I'm gonna do this one is I might need to get back to this because I did this album art. But this shit, I'm loving different shit. Like different sounds, whatever's new. But yeah. Can you pause real quick? So when did you become aware that you were an artist? Like when did you were like, this is not just playing around, blah blah blah, but like, nigga, I am an artist. This is the fuck I'm gonna do. This is my destiny.
Just recently. I never considered myself an artist. This is just something I like to do, and it was like something that nobody could take from you. So it was I never looked at it like an artist, other artists that I saw in museums and stuff like that were considered artists to me. Just recently, like I said, within the last maybe like 2 years, I'm like, all right, well, you hear this enough, you kind of start to believe it. So people kept referring to me as an artist. I was like, I guess that's what I mean. Okay, well, yeah, I gotta start walking in it. And it also too helped me get to like, I guess what you say, what looks like where I am right now.
Right.
Because you can't, like, it's like having half. I felt like I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like it was something that I could do, but until you like own it and say, yo, this is mine, like I belong in this space, then you kind of doing yourself a disservice. So I wouldn't until like I said, like 2 years ago, I was just like, all right, I belong here. I am an artist. I can say that confidently now and expound on it if you ask me.
So what year was that? Like how many years have you felt like you've been in the game?
Now you gonna make me say I was gonna say 2, but then I think I'm gonna be lying if I say 2 because no, look, because I was gonna say 2, but then if I think about like, okay, when I started like selling art was in 2016. I didn't take it serious until 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, in 2016, even still, it was really.
Shit, you just have 2 anniversaries, nigga.
Yeah, look, I say 2016, I was still nervous. You walk up to me and ask me something, I'm pricing, like I wasn't confident. I wasn't confident in this shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't confident in it. Now, you come in and you try to offer me something, or you try to make an offer about something. I'm like, all right, well,
my price is my price.
Yeah. I mean, we could. I'm gonna say it like that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I love that because like I said, my art journey has only literally been like a year. I think November 20 something. I think I had to put a time out and shit when I did my first art. I did my first paintings and moves at Warehouse, and that was like it. I was kind of marketed like July over there when I quit my job. I was like, I can't do this shit no more.
Oh shit. Okay.
July of last year. So because that was all that was for me was doing photography and selling books. And then so when I was doing photography, I was all like, this is way too much shit for me to try to be learning. Let me just go off of my eye and the shit I know. And then I realized it's just really a battle of presets. Who could come up with the coolest preset? It's like as long as you got a good eye, you can make it in photography. But we was doing all access. And that's when I was around like other painters, other, artists seeing that, and then coming across you as well. And then I was all like me knowing that you an Aquarius, be a Gemini, I was like, okay, it's a natural connection or whatever.
Yeah, we click.
Yeah.
Everybody always talk about us, but for whatever reason, for a lot of reasons, we understand what others don't. Like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I feel you.
Right. And so I was doing photography and it was cool, but then I realized, oh shit, I gotta get models or I gotta get locations, and then I can't even enjoy normal life because everything to me is a shot. I'm like, fuck. I don't have when you really get into the artistry and shit, like your whole world changes. Like when I was in the photography bag, I was like, everything was a shot and I was pissed off because I couldn't just stop, pull out my camera and then shoot. So eventually I was all like, you know what? And I'll say, I always credit you. I think it was the February All Access, and I looked over and I was all like, was it February? I can't remember. I was all like, the attention that you were getting for your paintings, like people, because with photography, people come around, look at your pictures, yada, yada, yada. Conversation is not as long.
Yeah.
Whereas painting, I was all like, oh, they're standing over there for more than 5 minutes. Okay, my ego, I'm all like, I want that shit. So I literally told them motherfuckers, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna paint it. And then I remember that week, I went to Family Dollar, and my brother, he was like, just use what you got. He was like, all right, I go to Family Dollar, give me cheap ass Crayola paint. I got all these cardboard boxes. Let me paint on them motherfuckers and figure out what I'm gonna do. And in hindsight, I was all like, damn, I had my style right there. But of course, you get pressured into oh, I need to be more evolved and shit. Like, nah, nigga, like just paint whatever you feel. So
do you?
yeah. So that was that between that and then of course watching the Basquiat docs and like saying, oh, I can do that. You know, whereas, and we'll get into it, but like a lot of these, you know, museums and shit have you feeling like, oh, I'm not an artist, so.
Yeah, there's some artists up in there, you know, like no disrespect to anybody in that space, because, I mean, I don't know many artists that want to be in a gallery or a museum, but, I don't know,
I think for me, I just hate the labels and how realizing like watching those docs and we're fighting the same fights of our, you know, artists, ancestors and shit of 20, 30, 50 years ago trying to get recognized. And I guess for me, I just want one to motherfuckers to realize, well, quit using that can't word, like I can't do this or I can't do that.
Because you can do anything. You can do anything in any of these spaces. You know?
And then two, appreciate these black and brown artists other than Basquiat. Because I love a nigga to death. Thank you for paving the way for the rest of us. But there are others, and it's all like trying, I guess for me, just hopefully trying to educate more of our people into, you know, what art, how you should appreciate it, and then two, what it means to invest in it.
You know, I also think that, piggyback on what you're saying, a lot of us don't know that we are, you know, in these spaces, or we're accepted and we're valued in these spaces. So, I don't know, like that's kind of one of the reasons why I have the events in the space that I do, because I want people to understand, like, you do belong in galleries, you do, you know, belong in the studio style, so that your work is worthy enough no matter what level you're thinking on, what level you start on. Because it's a lot of artists, like you said, outside, we can use Basquiat, for example, or you can use other artists who started, just like you, drawing on back on cardboard boxes. And I don't think price determines the value of your work, but there have been people who started on cardboard boxes and sold $45 million paintings. So, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta know that you belong. It shouldn't take for you to die one and two for somebody else to see value in your work for you to feel like, oh, you know what, now I belong in this space.
Right. So with that, we were talking about the seeing the need. So when did the idea for Eastern Studios pop in your head?
When did the idea?
And then also too, how did you write it out? Did you draw it? What did you do to manifest it?
Okay, manifesting, I write everything. I'm a journalist. I've been a journalist since I was a kid. Journaling kid my entire life. So I write everything, feelings, emotions, plans. I mean, I have always looked uniform, but I write everything down. I took a trip once to Paris, and had this book. I don't remember exactly. I think I got it from the dollar store. It was like a journal. It was a really nice journal from the dollar store. No lines on paper. It was like old vintage paper on the inside, and took that with me to Paris. And before I made it to Paris, I had just been writing all types of, like, you know, hopes, dreams, aspirations, all whatever you want to call it in this book. And I remember like writing something at the table at a tea shop that Andy Baldwin was at, and when he wrote Native Son, I was writing the same table that he wrote Native Son, and I remember like writing something I wanted with my clothing line. I wanted a fashion show, I wanted a studio space, all these things that I wanted. And I can't tell you what it was in that moment that made me feel like something was happening, but from that moment going forward, when I look back, I really want to say, I wish I had that book right now so I can tell you. But if I could say from like that trip was like in December of maybe 2017, maybe about my birthday, February 18th. 2 months after that trip, a lot of what I wrote happened. And I mean like things that I just knew I was dreaming, like at that time for it, I was dreaming big. Okay. So when some of those things was happening, it knocked me off my feet, and I was like, okay, it's not that I was aloof, like I didn't know that, you know, there's power in your tongue, but I just didn't think I paid attention to my power, you know what I'm saying, before that moment. So 2017, started writing. Fast forward to I think like 2019. Nope, I can't fast forward too far. But anyway, between 2017 and 2019, I did a photo shoot, maybe like 5 minutes away from here. It was me me and a couple of other creatives, and after the photo shoot, I talked about it. You know, this time out of that journal, I actually said something about what I wrote as far as the space. I said it to them, and once I started saying it to them, I didn't stop. It didn't matter if it was them. I must have said my ideas to so many different people for 2 years that because I started to believe it. And I was like, all right, well, I got to keep saying it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And that's exactly how I said. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think it would be really cool if I had a space, or there was a space where a lot of creators could come together. And not only if I can show my work, but we can get together, everybody show themselves. So, or we have art installation. At the time, I called it a pop-up installation.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just how I said it for 2 years. And I'm not saying that I think any idea is our own. There's nothing new under the sun. It's where everything is being, duplicated, redone over again. But I did start to see a lot of pop-up installations. That's why I said I'm not saying it's from that particular group of people, because those particular group of people, when they came in here, they were just like, yo, you really said you don't do this. But that just goes to show when you put energy in the world, we don't know what ears to listen.
It's your influence.
Yeah, so like I really do believe that. Like, it doesn't matter if those people where I started seeing other pop up, they were not sitting right there in a circle of 5. You know what I mean? But yeah, once you give life to your idea, the universe is listening.
And rest in peace, young dog, man. I was thinking about, like, I saw that shit. I was like, fuck. Like, we have got to protect our earners. Like, Ye was talking about earners, and this made me just think about people in my life, people in this, definitely down here in Houston, that like, yo, we could live this whole, like, I may be crazy, I may be, delusional sometimes, but I have this feeling like, this is where I get it from. I was watching Roots, and I don't watch any more black struggle movies, no more slavery, no nothing like that, because we're better than that. But I was watching Roots, and there was a scene where they was in the middle passage, and they down there, and shit fucking sucks and shit like that. And you had I think his name was Wulu. He was like the warrior back in Kunta's tribe. And he was all like, yo, talk to your brother. Look over to your left, to your right. Learn the language. You talk from different dialects. Learn the language. Get to know each other. We're going to come up with a plan to fight this white man up here. And they went up there, they learned it was beautiful. And yes, they went, they fought, they got their ass whooped, but they tried. And yes, and it's all like, it's just that willingness to fucking try, to just like, okay, I don't know how this is gonna work, but it's on my spirit, so I'm gonna do it. So,
you truly will be taken care of. Like,
God always provides. Like,
I've watched my mom and grandmother do stuff that's simply off the faith. So it doesn't matter if we speak the same language spiritually, or we talk to the same, whatever. We may be speaking different languages or calling things different things, but one thing I know for sure, like, people going back to what you said, when you know something is bigger than you, man, you're just doing enough of this pure energy, you're gonna be looked up, you're gonna be taken care of. Right. And you don't have to worry about the how. Somebody, one of my, I guess you can call him my mentor. No, I wouldn't call him my mentor. It's somebody that I was blessed to, be in close quarters with. And watching this lady, man, manifest and just kill it in her industry. She used to always tell me, like, you don't have to worry about the how. The how is not your job. She was like, the how is not important. How comes along with worry.
Right.
If you remove the how and just put one foot in front of the other and just say, this is what I'm trying to do, and what's your plan on how to get there. Everything else, the universe is going to conspire to give you what you want. That's all you gotta do. I know that shit sounds really cliche, but I swear to God, that's all that I've done. That's it.
It's like you really read, for me, my background is reading the Bible, because it's all about redemption, faith, or this is a good book called Asking is Given. It's kind of on the whole, like, what's her name? Abraham Hicks type, the secret type shit, but it works. Because it's like, yo, your words become flesh. If you think it, you'll believe it, whatever. I think the most breakthrough moment I had one time was I was watching Pinky the Brain, and they were in this cage, and the brain, he literally he took a piece of paper, made a key, and they got themselves out of the cage. And I'm like, oh shit. everything that I need is within me.
Yeah.
Everything, all the answers that I fucking need is right up here in the brain.
Yep.
As soon as I fucking get out of my own way. So within like coming up with the space, like what fears have you had? What kind of like times you were like, I don't know if I can do this shit?
You said the time that comes up all the time. Like, I wanna, because I don't know what I'm doing. So, but art that's different. Like, you can't tell me how to do this. So I don't really have that, kind of those kind of worries. But in having a space outside of just creating, like I've been opening up to other people for this space. I'm scared all the time. all the time I can't do it. All the time I'm talking to myself out of stuff. Yeah, it's awkward. Often
I'm letting you know, we will not let you not make it rain.
Man, that's
we will not let you not, and if you feel like you not gonna make the rent, nigga, tell a nigga. Like, say some shit, open your mouth, even like, nigga, I don't know how I'm gonna make the rent this month. And we are going to find, because that's what I feel like, that's what white people do all the fucking time, man. They have all these safety nets, they have all these, like, oh shit. Just like with fucking Trump. He was all like, my dad gave me like a $10 million loan.
Yeah.
Like how many times can you go, like how many spaces can we go to for like, because I talk to my brother about this all the time, like I look forward to when you're like, man, even better. Ye was talking about an interview. He was all like, my dad had this idea for whatever, renewable energy. And he was like, you know what, Dad? Here's the bank account, here's the routing number, here's the access to it. If you use all the money, you're tricking off and shit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm just gonna make more money and add to that account. So it's all like, what? I just like, what is the things we could do if we just had more resources and just somebody, just had that village of, oh shit, Wyntress is a fucking earner. Oh shit. Fucking Forrest.
That's my I swear to God, like me and my friend, my best friend, we talk about stuff like that all the time. But that's my ultimate goal, bro. Like I just want to be able to have. I mean, I do a lot of money. I always feel like that. I don't need a bunch of money. I just need a little bit of money. A little bit of the pot, so that I can be like, you know what?
You want the whole pie?
No, because like, when you think about like, would it be great to have billions of dollars?
I always want the same pie, whole pie, because at least if you dream for the whole pie,
you gonna come somewhere.
That motherfucker.
Right. So I'm saying like at this point, I know that's I'm in it somewhere. In it. So when I say the whole pie, I mean like the billions. Now, if I'm gonna get the billions, that's cool. But if you give me, let me just say like this: what I've been able to do right now. Very small piece of the entire pie. If you give me an even bigger chunk with some figures in it, I mean 6 figures, it could be $1 million. And I can make money. I'm not really good at math, I'll tell you about that. But if you put a dollar sign in front of it, I know how to make $1 double. I know how to make $100 do triple laps, and I can continue to do that over and over again. That's one thing anybody that you know me, especially if you went to school together. I'm a hustler.
Where'd you go to school at?
Missouri City Middle School.
There you go.
One time Missouri City Middle School, Missouri City, third grade Marshall High School, then I went to TSU, but hustling, any school you saw me in, I probably sold something to you. Whether it was $5 bill, and I guess I did sell $5 bills. Codes to Nextels. I've sold used shoes, airbrush shoes, shoes with paint on them, shirts with paint. I mean, anything you should think of, I'm selling. So like, if you could give, if I get $1 million for just $1 million. Not only would I know what to do with it, just $1 million. When I touch, not if, but when I touch $1 million, I'm telling you, it's gonna look like day and night from the time that I get the $1 million to what's gonna happen after that. Because it's gonna look like I really blew up. Because I know what I'm gonna do. There's so. If I knew what I know now, what I knew then, if you give me $20,000 right now, I know how to make it look like $100,000.
Right.
I can guarantee you that not only will it look like $100,000, I know that in a very, when I say short amount of time, I'm going to have $100,000.
That's the thing that I'm gonna plug it now. Plug it real quick. Go ahead and buy the Red Lip Volume Point.
Come on.
It's all like oh my goodness, and this is why I wish my kids would not go to college, but they live with their mom. So you know, she run the show. So, but I would totally like, yo, drop out, we finna learn to hustle because I did not have, all I learned, because it's a lot of things too, all I learned was like go to school, work a job, and there you go. Whereas like this past year, it changed. It's been frustrating. I have cried, I've called out the guy, I've yelled at God, I've been frustrated, but it's been the most fulfilling journey that I've ever dealt with as far as, oh shit, I don't know where, a lot of times I'm all like, even me, like I don't know where I'm fitting at in my fucking art game. There we go. I don't know where I fit in the art game, but I know I belong.
Man, that's all you got to keep on with.
Right.
And the fact that you like, I feel like it's important on the move. What you just said is so profound, bro, because a lot of people struggle with what you just said. Like, it's finding the beauty in the struggle. Like, I know everybody talks about that, the beauty in the struggle, but really, truly, finding it and holding on to it while you're going through it, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. And then saying, and then reaffirming that you belong in this space, but like you're already aware of these things, that whatever the goal is, you're already there. It's already happening.
And because like I feel like I'm an outsider because it's all like, even though, because this is one thing they don't do, they don't give us a chance to like fumble around, figure things out. It's like I've always kind of naturally been an artist, but not realizing my art, and then coming along and realizing, damn, here I go, fucking drugs, I forgot what I was saying.
Figuring things out.
Figuring shit out. And just figuring out like, hey nigga, you have literally built your following on this art shit, like literally brick by brick. Whether it's a fucking scammer fucking account, which I had to deal with, or it's a real life, like I recognize like it's 40 something people that I interact with. Like that's the shit that I appreciate. And like y'all are going along for the journey while I figure this shit out. But with that, where did you feel like, all right, so how did we get here? How did we get to this space? We went from making art, doing clothing. What shows did you do? How did we get to this time where we were able to open our shit?
Man, grinding. I don't know if it was necessarily a particular. Well, it wasn't a particular show. What changed was the confidence, and like you're trying to like figure out like, okay, so like you said, you're trying to navigate and figure out where you belong and stuff like that. So I feel like that's been. I'm still figuring it out where I belong. In the art space, where I belong. It's period. I feel like that's a constant battle and or journey of mine. So definitely what got me to this point was confidence and trying, like putting effort in. The word trying is not even real, so let me say effort. Just figuring or just saying to myself, man, this is really unfortunate. Just saying to myself, all right, so I'm gonna try this show. I like what this show looks like. Let's give it up. Let's give it a chance. You try a show, and not every show that you try is going to turn out the way it should be. So if you think you want to be an artist and or entrepreneur, and that's gonna stop you, it's at the game. Right. You might want to stop right now. Every show is not gonna go the way you want it to go. That's not realistic.
Oh man.
And from my experience, and so to go back to what you're saying, like how you saw me at all access. I know a lot of times when people see me with all access, whether it's Heart and Soul, Art Walk, I don't care where it is, pancaking booths. If you see me and there's a booth behind me, you can see me at my friend's table. If I'm supposed to be working, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm grateful that the art does attract people. That's why I use some of the color choices that I do, because I don't want to create anything with those.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna jack your fucking whatever colors you got going on, because I'm trying to brighten my shit up.
Man, it changes, honestly, like...
We gonna get to that.
It changes how people feel.
Because I'll tell you when I steal your shit, I'm like, hey, great artist borrow, but good artist borrow, great artist steal.
You look around and you tell, I don't really add too many, I don't veer off the beat path. It's not too many colors, I'm just go off of, this is working, so let's just stick with it.
Right.
Now, I will get to like, this right here probably the most, to me, most chaotic piece I've ever did in my life. There's a lot going on, a lot of color, it's still not done, it's incomplete.
Nigga's done.
Look, no, I don't know, but yes, it's a lot. That's what I did.
You could. That's the thing about being an artist. Sometimes you can literally put one of those dots over there in the middle of the fucking piece, white all around, and it's fucking art. But continue.
But yeah, so
I get excited about fucking.
yeah, but yeah, so just like just going to whatever the hell you think that you belong in the confidence. So I go to these shows like maybe they may go the way that I wanted to, they don't go the way that I wanted to. It was when it didn't go the way that I wanted to, I just started assessing like what's changing.
Did you ever cry? Like tears?
Over the art, no. But while making it, yeah. Yeah, I'm not one of them artists. I know people like to say that, but I'm not one of the artists that was.
I say that because I used to. I'm glad I recorded them a lot of times. I would go through a drop afterwards, and I would be sad, and I was like, because my art is me.
Yeah.
My art is literally like, as simple as I keep it, like I give everything that I have, and so I'm all like, damn, you reject my art, you reject me. But then I had to tell myself, like, no, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, yo, some people don't get it. You definitely make art for people that like, I feel like future people down the road will understand. And then two, once again, everybody ain't got like that, where they want to, come
Think
on.
about Basquiat. When he first started, let's use him because I think it was why a lot of people like him and they use him. He's still very popular today is because what he was doing then and what's happening now is kind of like, I know a lot of artists who do other styles. They often say that we don't need another Basquiat, which I agree. I absolutely agree. But he's not the only black and or brown artist who has such a heavy influence on art, on the culture. But the significance about him is his authenticity and the fact that he wasn't trying to fit into the box of being an artist. He wasn't trying to fit into this cookie cutter space where you get to tell him and interpret it. You get to interpret it, but you don't get to tell him about his work and or who he was. So when other people interviewed him, I just like one that sticks out to me. They were like, well, why did you put I don't know what the graphic was, but it was like they were asking him something on the piece, like why did you put that? He was like, because I felt like it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Because I felt like it.
I love the one interview, I forgot what that one white dude, where he was talking about primal. It's like primal like 8, like and shit like that. You trying to fucking race a Pokemon?
Yeah, he was like, look, dude, now you sit in front of me for a reason.
Right.
A lot of the time, that's why I appreciate a lot of his interviews and I listen to him a lot because where I think they thought that they were like superior to him, he would sit there in front of him like, well, you're talking to me here in my studio. Because of whatever the hell I just did. So you guys, but however you're sitting in front of me, I don't know if you're trying to be smart about it or if you're trying to be
in the mud club looking for change in the couches. It's real. So with that, all right. So we get to running up to the space. What has it been like? Have you been able to just sit here in your space and be like, oh shit, I've got my own space?
Only one time.
One time?
And I'll say one time, I mean like maybe like a week, 7 days, not consecutive, 7 days in total since the grand opening. That's how, and I say one time. So I've been at that 7 times, that's it. Sitting here and like, oh shit, it's real. But once after that, it's been a constant work. Somebody would tell me what it takes to rent a big space. Before I said this space, I would have said, oh, okay, well, maybe that's not exactly what I want.
That's crazy. You're just talking about that part.
Yeah.
Like a studio, yes, but in the big space, I would have said, oh, well, I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do. I want to paint. And I like what it does for me. I like the experience that I had with people when they interpreted what was in my mind. That's truly what I want to do.
Because that was, and shout out to Maya down there in Atlanta, Peter Street Station. Just having because sometimes you need to see somebody who did it first, and then you could be like, okay, I can do it, in my way. And I love how Basquiat's talked about, no, I'm not jacking your shit. It's just me, how I look at your shit, and then how it transfers through my mind onto the fucking canvas. So I feel like this space is your canvas just in a different art form. So what would you say has been the struggles, the annoyances, whether it's running the space or just dealing with art shit in general.
Before you even go any further, it's the different people. Forrest, it's taking a lot of, okay, so like I said, it's like, that's why I said, if somebody would tell me what it takes to run the event space, I probably would be like, oh, well, no, that's not what I want to do. Because I'm a cool person, and I think that I'm a really nice, I can be nice, like I'm really kind. But I'm weird as fuck, and on top of being weird, odd, I want to say that I'm odd. So, you know what I'm saying? On top of being odd, I'm gonna throw it off. I'm so thrown off that, I mean, you don't have to be thrown off to have a therapist, but I ain't got therapy. I was put into therapy because of her. Now I have appreciation for therapy. And before I was not for it because I was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
But no. I'm like, no, you need help. So that, and then dealing with people. Okay, so having like that little, you may not be wired all the right ways, and having to like determine or having discernment on when I need to turn this on and turn this off because it's playing roles all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I can't take interaction personal. I have to always be in business mode. And put it, and I can do that. I'm a very black and white kind of person, so I can do that. But you want to add a sense of like your personality and what you're doing. It makes for great business. It makes for better relationships. So yeah, it's been the people. It's been running into different people that when you put yourself out like you're personable, that can be misconstrued a lot of different ways. And you have to learn how to deal with people's interpretation of that and then how you respond and not react to how you do it.
And I'll put it out there because I'll say the shit, it's just whatever, but like, shit I've seen, like when motherfuckers have disrespected your space, like I have turned, y'all can call it dick ride. Yes, I dick ride fucking East End Studios, but the motherfuckers is the truth. But like just the disrespect of the space, just what I've seen, disrespect to just like we just can't be on this whole like we're gonna work together, we're gonna create, we're gonna do better for our people. Like we gotta respect people and respect the time, the space. It's like
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I say it's people. That's been a hard thing to deal with because I'm like, all right, do you not see what I want to do for other people? Like I understand that I've been given something, a gift that can make that provides for spaces that are bigger than me. So like what I have, I know is bigger than myself. I get to benefit from it, but I know without a shadow of a doubt that what I'm doing has nothing to do with me. There's nothing to do. If that was the case, then I would be doing a lot of different other things. I can assure everybody. But things like RB and Brews, every time that I get discouraged about RB and Brews, there's somebody that comes from somewhere that says something to me that I'm like, wow, I was just about ready to throw the towel. Because I'm not getting income. I want to paint. I keep saying that over and over to everybody. I'm not a curator. I want to paint. But being in this space is calling me to do things that I didn't think that I was capable of doing. And that's why, like I said, that's why I know it's bigger than me. So that ties back into what we said. If you moving like that, then you always want to take care of it. Bro.
Yeah.
You always want to take care of it.
And it's like you're going to spaces where you do need to be a curator in other spaces.
Yeah, so you know how to do it.
I've done this, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Like I've had to grind a little bit harder than you, so I know these different things.
Yeah, so. And then but that also, that's why it's something we need to learn how to do with other people because I know this ain't got nothing to do with me, and I try to keep that at the forefront. Like this ain't got to do with me.
And I'm gonna take a left. I just need to feel like I need to say this, like we'll keep it positive, but what lessons did you, because we both came out of All Access, what lessons did you learn, and I'll chime into why you were doing, why did you do it in the first place, and then what kind of things you learned along the way?
Well, when I was looking for like another platform to like showcase art, I didn't know where to go. So beginning of the pandemic, my best friend is the reason why I started digital. I wasn't gonna bring my codes I definitely wasn't gonna bring my art to a video game. If it wouldn't have been for her to pull me out there, like I wouldn't have been doing it. So doing that and just trying to like gauge, like, okay, so people are buying it, just trying to figure out like where do people go about art.
Right.
So I got on Instagram and one of the first things I saw was all access. And I like what I saw. I like with anything I do research. So I'm looking at artists, I'm looking at their promotions, I'm looking at marketing. Just scrolling on the page. So I was like, all right, it's gotta be it gotta be where the people go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, let me sign up. The first time I signed up, biggest butterflies in my stomach. Biggest butterflies. But it turned out to be a great show. And another one, kind of big great show. I'm the type of person like I said, everything that you do is not going to and come out with what you want to, especially in art. It's like I come from a basketball background, so I like to relate a lot of things that I do in life to that.
Where's your ball at?
I played golf from the time when I was 4 to 21, but I played everywhere, all around.
Okay, I got
finally, position middle school.
I got a homebrew to play U of A, so I don't know. Just every time I hear some things, I'm all like, my brain naturally connects.
I wonder if she probably played.
Yeah, I'll shoot you her Instagram after we get done.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, basketball, I played it everywhere. Basketball was the thing. I know people like to say it was art, but art didn't get me out of the hood.
Okay.
Basketball. Basketball showed me, I don't have to be around here. There's something outside of basketball and academics.
Okay.
Let me know that you can do something different. And what you see outside of your house is not all that it is. I have to do something different for my friends. So because those two things provided me to be in all these different spaces outside of the southeast side of Houston, I was rolling with that. Art was something that was mine. I didn't have to share it with nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was something that nobody could take away from me. It was a competitive thing. It was just me, and that was it. It was something I knew that I could do, and it kind of quieted all the outside noise. Okay. Basketball provided family, discipline, and just relationships. So, tying that back into shows, so started doing a couple, like I said, all access, doing that, and like I said, not every show goes the way that you want it to go.
How long did it take you to get into the black? How many? Because I know we.
Well, the second one, the first thing, I'm telling you, the only reason that I would do anything a second time is if I made money the first time. Okay? So I made money.
I've been holding on too long.
Every time somebody asks me about anything that I've done, and I always tell them this, I can't tell you what your experience is going to be like. So if you look at what I'm doing, and then it's just going to be the same thing, no. Because if you don't get on the side of me and do the same thing, it's not going to work. I say it with anybody that's going to work with me. I can show you how to get money.
Right.
I cannot tell you but I can tell you what to do. I can tell you just put one foot in front of the other, and as you see me hustle just the same.
Right.
You don't have to move every move I make. But if you see me how I'm doing it, take it, tweak it, and make it your own.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, that's all that I did. I'm not creating this out of I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I'm watching other people do things, and I'm like, okay, that's working. That's working too. I can do this, even if I know it's making me uncomfortable. I can do this. What you saw about access,
right?
It makes me uncomfortable all the time. Every time.
What makes you uncomfortable about it?
I don't like people to I'm watching. I'm over here dying, palms sweating while you're sitting there turning to work. My palms are sweating. I'm over here, what are you thinking? I want to listen to your mind. But the only way I'm going to pull that out or even make this relatable to you is having a conversation. And another way for me to relax anxiety is to talk to you.
Right.
If I don't, I'm literally that's because if you see me anytime that I'm showcasing work, my hand is in my pocket because I'm doing a little it's a little thing that I learned in therapy. Instead of I don't have a widget, so it's me doing this is my face.
Okay.
While I'm pinching a nerve to kind of count. Right. I would do it with some beads or stones when I have my pocket. It's normally something that I'm doing to calm myself so that it looks like this is really natural and casual.
Okay.
Not all the time it feels like that because I'm in my head over talking, overthinking, second guessing, looking at flaws. So so all shows you do are not going to go the way that you want them to, but it's about you. So anytime anybody sees me pancake and move, like the last one of pancake moves, everybody complimented me about what I was doing. I talked to everybody. I told you, once it's time for me to go on the show,
I wanted to come through too. I was so fucking tired, and I was all like,
It was
I had to pick sleep that night.
I feel you. Yeah. I know, but that's another show. A lot of people are asking me, well, how did you do? Or they say they didn't do great. I did phenomenal. I went to the last one in June, whatever it was, didn't have that response. This is the second time that I've done it. If you ask me about the first one was the Baby Go. Again, going back to what I said, every show is not going to go the way that you want
Right.
to. I was going with the mission in mind. My mission was to promote from my space and my events, and to also put my name in front of people. Because I haven't been able to do nothing outside of the studio in a long time. But that night, it was artists, customers, everybody. I got more compliments about me working the room, and I didn't even move from my station.
And I'll say that has motivated me because I was like, I was going to space on that. Well, one, too, mine is a lot of physical shit because I already fucked my body up, so like, all that standing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then just, being around people, shit like that. But I appreciate it because I was like, damn, nigga, do you want to be that artist that they find 25 years down the road where this nigga done died with all this fucking papers on top of him, or do you want your fucking artists that's out here either getting it or want to? My thing is to talk about the bullshit in this art game and why the fuck, like, nigga, we could get so much money together, we like share the
Nobody wants to share for nobody wants to share without the fear of you passing them up. Okay, well, let me tell you.
If you pass me up, I'm like, go, nigga, go.
Let me tell you what kind of confidence, what kind of your insecurity. You gotta kill all your insecurity. Ego is a big ass thing when it comes to business. People don't want to say that, and they always say that don't take anything personal or networking. All that other shit is real and whatever. But it's really because of your ego. If you were not afraid of me surpassing me, if you gave me a little bit of information, then you would give it to me, and I would reach back. People don't know. People are scared of one, you passing them up and being forgotten about. Because I'm saying that happens. It's not about people that's going to go to the top and be like, you know what? I have a table of chairs here. Would you join me?
Right.
Would you join me? Now, I will say, because I'm not in the space for table sitting, but what I would say is we're in a position to offer people things, they're really reluctant to accept it. And I don't understand it because I think there's something, but it's ego. It's everybody's inflated ass ego. Niggas don't want to give you the cheat codes because it's scared.
And it's not like, because it's like, just being, because living in Atlanta, I was just like, I'm kind of outside, being observing art shit. And now I'm kind of being down here, being in it, and seeing like, oh shit, it's some bullshit. Like, because my experience, and the reason why I bring them up, because like these are the conversations I wish I could sit down and have with these niggas. Because it's all like, y'all have access to these spaces. We could work together to get more black and brown artists into these spaces where one, we're having auctions to where we're on the same shit talking about the Griselda niggas. Every time I listen to them, like West Side, all them motherfuckers, and they got like this Paris shit talking about, oh, $4 million for a fucking piece. I'm like, damn, I want my nigga fucking I think of like my nigga Wyntress, the feeling of, yo, it's what, $200 million, okay, so, fucking, yeah. And I want all my people to feel that way, but these niggas over here, like, can I talk about my shit? Because it's all like, one, yeah, I did my first one. My first art show was at Pancakes and Blues at the Warehouse. And of course, I always connected dots ass nigga. I was like, oh shit, this is where fucking Drake had his first day of the show down here at the Warehouse. And shit like that. So I was like, oh shit, me and light skinned niggas, we gonna fucking make this shit. So, doing the photography, and of course, Bird come through. And once again, if I say your name or whatever, all this shit, I'm down to have these conversations with you to your face. I'm not afraid. Yeah, so it's not talking shit, it's for the betterment of this fucking art. But yeah, he was all like, oh shit, I see because I submitted for them or whatever, I talked on Instagram. So, oh shit, I told you shit, blah, blah, shit. Hey, it might need to be tamed down a little bit because it's more family friendly. I'm like, oh, I really don't like that. But whatever art you need, I'm gonna make it for you.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it. So I was like, let me come up with some family friendly shit. Came through, blah, 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 went through. And this is peak pandemic. So I was in that motherfucker, and then of course we're at like what, $100 submission fee, and then so I'm all like, okay, cool, we get there. I didn't go into the black. I was in the red until maybe I did the second art show they did, Art House or whatever, where they did a ballroom.
Okay.
And then I was all like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, sure, I did that too.
That's when I made the fucking, when I was like, oh shit. And I didn't realize, because of course as an artist, you never realize your influence. Like, at some point you maybe do it, if you're fortunate enough,
Yeah.
but this white couple literally waited for me to go to the bathroom. They waited for me. When I came back, I was like, oh shit, I was had to piss real quick, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh shit, we was gonna wait. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And a piece that I literally just heard a song, I was listening to, what was it? The leaked version of Life of the Party we gave 3 Stacks.
Okay.
And 3 Stacks verse had me crying like a little bitch. But I felt it. And I was like, all right, let me paint this shit out. And some shit that I literally painted took me maybe an hour. Canvas maybe $40-something, paint maybe 20 if you throw in all that shit like that. But I was able to flip that into a $330 piece. And then like the Yay piece that I did, Donda or whatever, simple. Was able to flip that into a $220 piece. So I was like, oh shit. Damn, this art shit can fucking really work.
Yeah, you do like I want more than. You know, I would say like that's why I like, you know what I can say in my own journey. I've always tried to put myself in spaces where I thought somebody was gonna do, or I thought somebody had to put me in a different, get different eyes on me. What I'm starting to understand is that that's not how this happens. The eyes that are being put on me, or the people that are coming into contact with me, are you grab it like when you because you gotta kind of like try to filter through like what circles or what spaces you want to be in, so you can navigate or figure out, you know, attract people who are looking for what you got. So that's why I always say, everybody always asks me about all these different places that I've been. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Yes, I did. I went there because I thought it was good. I had a great time, and I made money. If you ask me why I don't do as many shows as why now, is because I now know that I can sell certain things. In certain markets, people don't look at, they're not really coming to spend a big amount of money, a large amount of money. You may stumble across some collectors, but it has to be a art audience.
Right.
So now that's why I don't do a lot of marketing, because I'm looking for an art-based audience. I want to make one piece, sell it for $20,000, and then take some time off and think about what I want to create next.
Right.
When you do this for a living, it becomes like it's a lot more energy that is going into painting than I ever put in before my life. A lot. I will say on this art shit, all this click-based stuff is stupid though. Like if you don't have clout, then anybody fucking with you.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying, like that's really whack. I don't.
So what? We'll say that, and we'll start closing. We're going to wrap it up. But where do you see yourself in the art space, and where do you see the Houston art space in these next few years?
And Forrest, I would say this. I feel like.
Or would you say, where's your contribution to the game?
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, you know where the art space going? We gonna be spending a lot of time talking about these niggas in the art space. I feel like 6 to 8 months now. Those 6 figures that I'm talking about, I'm gonna touch it. And when I touch the 6 figures, and because I'm saying this, I'm recorded, and I fully believe it. When I touch the 6 figures, if I don't do what I said I was gonna do with it, come back and find me.
Please, and I'm saying,
and I really do mean that, because I would be the biggest hypocrite, because that's one of the things that I want. That's why I have a space. You asked me why I have a space, because I wanted to have this community. Community means me helping you, or you helping me to get to a certain, us helping each other. Let's say that. Community effort, communion effort. Us putting it together the same amount of effort and energy, pulling our resources together, and me helping you get to the next level without it benefiting me.
And please, when you make that first million, let me be one of the first 5 people or 10 people that you text. Because after you text your mom or the family, like just hey,
look, I told you, and that's what I'm saying right now. When I touch it, if I do not do, which I know that if I don't do what I said I was gonna do with it, come find me. Because you'll be like, you said, I did. I said exactly what I was going to do with it, and I'm going to do that. I also know that I'm going to need help. I'm going to need help doing that. You know what I'm saying? I know that I'm going to need to call in and troops and be like, all right, look, so I have to move now. Don't really know what to do.
Yeah, no, you good.
I don't know where to put it at.
I got you. My brother, my mom is an accountant.
I need help.
My brother, he's got finance. Come on, we got.
Oh, you already tapped in, bro.
I'm tapped in. I'm already tapped in. My money, you ain't finna send me a jail for no money shit. Well, I know, I appreciate it. I appreciate you telling me the story.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, man.
Time again, and that's a wrap.
I appreciate your time, bro.
That's as far as I gotta keep.
Dude,
But as far as the big audio shit, but
Oh, I'm so sorry.
keep
For
rolling.
some reason, I was thinking it was just like open. I was just feeling real motivated.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. That's what we need.
The back door.
Okay, bet. Make yourself known, yeah.
Alright.
My eyes don't blow.
No, I thought this one, what you doing?
But yeah, what you were saying though is like where I am at in life, and God gave me a breakthrough. I finally like started listening to God.
You know, people, whatever the spiritual calling is, or whatever you want to say, take everybody a little bit to get to figuring this out. So I'm saying everybody we always spend a lot of time on trying to like debate on what the energy is called or what the deity is called or whatever, but like, whatever you're talking to, as long as you tap into something bigger than yourself, it's gonna help you out. It'll help you figure out what can help you navigate this place just a little bit easier.
But yeah, your art is very beautiful, very like motivating. I would say.
Thank you. I would say I've never got that. That's a new one. That's a new one, and oh shit, I appreciate that.
It's yeah, like I don't know, your words are just like very like God put me in this moment, like you know what I mean?
But you know, because that definitely wasn't my intention. But anytime somebody takes something from me,
I will take you up on one of those cocktails, yes. If you're not too close to mine. But yeah, like I do event curation. Yeah, like I had a residency at Natsuo. I don't know if you know where that is.
I'm sorry, to hear you.
Natsuo?
Natsuo?
Have you heard of it?
No, I've never heard of it.
You have not?
No.
It's kind of like an artsy space. It's like social art, I guess, or like.
Okay.
But yeah, like I had a residency there in July. I've thrown events at Bauhaus. I don't know if you've been there.
Echoes on here. One more time, so.
Bauhaus?
Bauhaus?
Interesting. Among art?
Yes, I remember. What was the first one that you said?
Not so. But I'm saying I would like to collaborate.
Okay.
I've actually just